you need me to begin? This isn't forever. Paris, 1943, and the stubborn beauty of the summer. Even with the war on, I was drunk with it. The women in their dresses on the wide and echoing boulevards, each trailing behind her the memory of an embrace. Like a feather lifting on currents of warm air. I remember the sound of military vehicles, the smell of tobacco, the secret looks of some of the soldiers, just boys, whom I ignored. Fragments of Tehran appeared on a drift of jasmine, or the pattern of shadows moving under a horse chestnut tree. On the corner was a girl, very young, perhaps 6 or 7. She was standing very still, with her hands over her eyes. She was counting. 5, 4, 3, and where were her parents? 2, and still the soldiers, more of them. The crowd began to move suddenly, like a flock of pigeons sensing a circling hawk. 1, coming, ready or not? She spoke to me directly. Are you playing? She said. And there was a moment of complete stillness. And I looked into her dark eyes, profoundly dark. And the soldiers were putting out their cigarettes, and there were engines starting, and I saw the flash of yellow on the left breast of her coat, and just then, in that moment, I took her hand, and we vanished. She didn't question me. We didn't look back. Even when we heard the engines die away, we did not pause a moment until we were back at the embassy and sitting in my office, and she playing La Vie en Rose endlessly on my gramophone, and I crying endlessly, not quite understanding why, and she understanding clearly and making no comment. We walked in the garden, and she told me her name was Sarah, and I told her mine, Maktab. She slept soundly, making almost no noise. And in the morning, she woke to find me unpicking the stitching of the yellow star on her coat. You mustn't, she said. She was cross. So instead, I took papers. I signed them, and I placed them in her hands, and I said, Sarah, this is very important. If anyone asks you for your papers, show them these. They are a promise. You are now an Iranian citizen. And she nodded. And ran out into the garden to play. And here we are now, Anna. You and I. Paris, 1943, and the stubborn beauty of the summer. Even with the war on, I was drunk with it. The women in their dresses on the wide and echoing boulevards, each trailing behind her the memory of an embrace, and the bath filling with tepid water and the cold tiles under your feet. On the corner was a girl, very young, perhaps 6 or 7. She was standing very still, with her hands over her eyes. She was counting. 5, 4, 3, and the level of the water rising. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming, ready or not? Are you playing? And there was a single moment of complete stillness and stepping into the bath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And your head slipping under the water. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Paris. And the stubborn beauty of a baby held so briefly in your arms. The weight of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anna, what did you see? Anna's grandma, Sarah. Anna's first day at school. Anna's wedding day. Anna waiting for the little blue line to appear. Anna, life growing inside of her. Bathroom tiles. Anna is empty. The water rising, head under. What now?
company for the first time at 1 o'clock today, and I'm feeling a bit emotional here. First of all, has anybody got any feedback on that piece of performance that I'd like to share with us, or question? I think probably what we should go into really is to talk about how you make your work, what you want to do with this piece of work, yes, and what you're looking for. In conversation with them earlier today, we were talking about the problem solving and really getting into different cultural exchanges and human rights and hidden stories. Do you want to just talk a bit more about that?
Sure. The company is interested in hidden tales, hidden stories that cross borders, and some that are about illuminating our humanity, our cultural shared humanities. And I guess the work that we make asks us to make it in a very particular way, which is intensively collaborative. In the company there is Nadia's creative associate, Stephen Gavethorpe is our associate writer, and I work as artistic director, and I also have a producer, Isabel Hossein. But with our duets strands, what is really important to us is to create an ensemble of artists. So we have Molly as our associate artist for dance, and Phil as our associate for theatre, and of course then we have our lighting designers, and we have costume as well, and our production team from day one is part of the dialogue, really.
And then you move on, don't you? Because in conversation this afternoon, we were talking about in the spring and January, actually trying to have residencies in a number of different locations with a venue, and have a week-long dialogue with artists of all sorts, and any sort, emerging and professional, to work for a week to put more input into the work that you are creating. That then moves on to be a piece of performance work, which then comes back to that area and becomes a piece of work to be shared with an audience.
And it's that, I guess, as a company, we enjoy solving problems. Whether that is how do artists collaborate, we are engaged with development of the arts, but also we're very interested to work in collaboration with venues to kind of assist them and support them in the work that they would like to be doing, particularly around the creative case.
So they're looking for venues. They're not asking for money right now, except of course there's a fee that comes with this, but a modest fee of £2,000 to engage with them for a week-long residency, to a continued engagement thereafter about as the work develops. So it's quite an inclusive package that's being offered, proudly northern, but looking for relationships throughout the country. Izzy, who regrettably can't be here, and I've stepped in to be Izzy, we're completely interchangeable. Izzy Wilson is tour booker, and the details are in the book here of how to get hold of them. But these people are going to be around for a bit more of the time?
Yeah, we'll be at the Society reception tonight.
And thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for coming.